try and Yorick also fulfills that that same niche, right? Like that makes sense to me as well. And Pavi, I can't believe we didn't talk about him, but is obviously still very high pro, should be solid here. Does mean that Zeka gets another good ulti, a bit more limited, but it does allow you to side lane a lot more aggressively.
Jax.
And there is the Jax from ZEUS. That is kind of a double up because it's both one of Doran's best picks, particularly when Doran has been on form. I think his Jax has been where he's showed some of his best team fighting. But we know that this is a skill matchup, right? This is not something that Jax wins by default. And I think it's very snowbally as well. I do think if you get the Jax ahead early, it's really good. But otherwise, we've seen the Yorick be able to get such a consistent early game that the Jax never really gets the skill. And I also think that games right now feel like they're decided a little bit early.
As HANWHA come with a very aggressive draft here in this first game. Let's hop into the Rift for game one.
생성까지 30초 남았습니다.
All right. As we're getting ready for game number one, we'll see how this goes.
No invades just yet. Not expecting anything too crazy either. Looking at the rune setups, also no big surprises. Faker did go for the grasp, which we've seen a lot when you're playing things like Victor, like Azir in melee matchups.
Remember, game one of DNF versus BK. Berserker was playing MF Gragas into Kai'Sa Alistar, and they lost the lane. So, you know, some of them you really have to take with a grain of salt. Like, that loss is not because MF is bad on this patch, it's because DNF are struggling.
Zeka, as he often does, just playing.
I mean, he might get the kill here. Very, very close. Faker not respecting it. He's going to sidestep and flash away. Zeka potentially was going to flash in for a couple of, you know, an auto and a skill, and then he's dead. But getting himself in that situation is not a good look for Faker.
That should be feeling really good as in they go.
Right, going in on Naguma, who is going to take a bunch of damage. I don't know if they actually have kill pressure here, but still a good engage from the side of the HANWHA Esports bottom lane. And
Viper clearly didn't think so, because I feel like the Light, you know, was trying to get as much damage down as possible. Viper had already given up. Or maybe he was looking to try and play off of resets of the wave. One thing we hadn't mentioned yet is that Guma and Carrier were kind of stomping the 2v2, which is why we see that big lead. They were very aggressive starting level 1.
Just clearing out the waves and staying ahead a little bit on the gold. About 150, but still feels good as he still has his TP available. Take it back to the lane if need be. No big action just yet.
Truly a game one, where both teams are
it's
just
all
like
brewing.
Yeah, they're kind of getting a feel. They're like, what? How we
side-eyeing each other.
How are we feeling today? Are we gonna fight? I know we should. Today? Peanut tries to take Dragon. Faker says no.
Yeah. Good luck. Go over there, stop that. As now we got the engage. Pantheon coming on up. Owner is here. Viper in a lot of trouble. Down he goes. First blood. Goes over to Guma. And now the bullet time as well. As, well, Carrier dies to the turret. So actually it is traded back. But the kill goes to Delight. And a wave is missed by Viper. Still a good play for T1.
Big win for T1. Able to get both of Viper sums. Get the kill over to Guma.
You were pointing at T1 picking up all 3 grubs.
Of that top lane, I assume. Owner just running, and the eventual trade will be a Dragon picked up for HANWHA Life. Early Infernal Drake, always nice. But
which you do love to see, including Carrier. Bit of damage here on ZEUS, who is Jax, but yeah, stun comes in, 1Q, and he's dead. Owner just easy dive, and now you've got a whole turret worth of plates given over to Doran. T1 getting massive leads here in this early game.
Yeah, they're kind of obliterating them. It's 13.5 minutes, and they're about to be up 3k gold. It's all lane. That's it. It's literally just laning pressure.
Yep.
Every single lane is winning, even with Zeka getting the early flash out of Faker, wasn't punished whatsoever.
Yeah.
And there are waves just being shoved into turrets. There are plates being picked up across the board.
So many
plates. Like, look at this!
This is way too many plates. And we knew that T1, with this draft, were going to win the early game. but HANWHA like evened it out early, but then they have just fallen off a cliff since.
HANWHA Life has some of the best team fighting and skirmishing that we have in the LCK. As owner hiding behind Otacon. Maybe this is the win that they're looking for.
Yeah, he's just going to flash away. Good call. Peanut and Delight right there. And they had kind of snuck through vision, snuck past vision to get in there. But they get the flash out of the Pantheon. Decent amount of engaged potential taken away from T1.
Yeah, HANWHA want to fight. It's very obvious. And when the space is open, I do think that their target selection and single target burst is insanely big, but they do need to find an early kill.
All the one-item spikes were finished for HANWHA, so even though they're down 3,000 gold, it's really only components that are T1's ahead on.
Well, exactly. So I think the confidence makes sense, but then I look at the health bars.
Yeah.
Or rather, the lane situation for both mid and top, and they're just not in a position to really do too much.
ZEUS doesn't really get to play the game. He's just sitting here against a Yora trying to scale and just not really having an impact for the entire early game. This is not what ZEUS is comfortable with.
No, and HANWHA Life really look quite muted here in the early game in T1. On their end, high marks. Everyone looking to be playing very, very well. Laning pressure is there. Cole's cashed out for Guma to really add to that gold lead. All right, Doran trying to play for this turret. Might be fighting him.
All right, he's going towards the other enemies. He's buying a lot of time. The turret goes down. Owner tries to come in and save him, but Doran gets knocked up, and there you go. First kill, but now Nico, the massive ult over the top. And Guma's right there, but the damage doesn't go in. As now we got the engage coming in on Guma. He has to cleanse. He flashes, but he's not getting out of this one. HANWHA Life making something of this team fight. As FAKER on the backside, Carrier here alone as well. Triple kill for Viper, who has been totally untouched in this fight, picks up 3.
Well, there's that team fighting, fellas. And we said, yes, there's a gold lead, but the item spikes are really not that different. And I think we see it right there. What a back and forth. And that combo looked disgusting from Carrier and Guma so much. But this is the second time I've seen this today, by the way.
Talking about champs that love to stick around for long fights and get multiple counter-strikes off, Jax is one of them.
Carrier.
He is in a lot of trouble. No ult available. He's just dead. Root comes down, and now the follow-up, the recommittal here from T1, trying to save their buddy. And now HANWHA Life are going to get another flash away from this one. Guma is probably dead here. He doesn't have flash as the bullet time. It doesn't hit, but it doesn't matter. Zeka just takes the 1v1 HANWHA. Now wiping the floor with them. They're going to take down a Rift Herald.
It's a fork right there. Either Guma walks into it or walks away from the turret. Either way, Zeka gets the kill. Losing Carrier there, it's fine. Damage that thus far, T1 haven't really been able to find as Homebreaker done 2 item spikes are there for T1. And this Drake fight is a possible soul. We haven't even talked about the mountain as the TP comes in from Zeka as well.
All right, they really want to fight for this one, but the Drake is already gone. And, okay, it's gone.
That was anticlimactic.
We're, like, building up to this, and then T1 just,
They get mid-turret, which is nice, but Soul Point...
There's a Rift Herald in bot lane.
Have.
Did you see Peanut summon it in the bottom river?
It is there.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be there for a lot longer.
Yeah, probably not.
Says, take it and drive mid, maybe?
Okay,
okay. Oh, you heard me.
You're on to something.
Well, there are like 5
wouldn't
T1
do that.
players, so maybe just leave. Yeah, he's just leaving. That's better. Unless...
He's rotating.
Yeah. Whoop.
Back to bot lane for you.
Yeah, back to the wave.
Turret in top lane.
That's all ZEUS, by the way. He drew attention.
Yeah. He drove attention.
So, still.
Get it? Because I think we're not having a lot of action now. We wanted to show something, but that's really the situation.
Flash.
Doran, I think he just doesn't do it now. There's just way too much rotation over here. 4 people kind of angling down there, so it's still a win for HANWHA to take him down. There's no objective up here except the Otacon, but
HANWHA can't just walk up to this dragon and set up shop. But here we are.
They're walking up to the dragon and setting up shop because the gold is even, Chronicler. A good point made. And I just
Oh, did it just get it?
I don't know. I mean, they're starting it, but they're apprehensive about it. Owner is here.
Flanking Yorick.
We've seen this work for other teams. Not sure about in this scenario as the Maiden is bye-bye. It's another 50 gold over to ZEUS.
Saka doesn't have an ultimate yet. I think he's going to be looking for carry-outs if he can find it.
Doran's just pushing.
Or Fakers.
Wants to go for the engage. Is Faker just going to go golden, and now Delight maybe in a bit of an issue as everybody gets knocked up by the Nico, but the counter Nico comes in. They get onto that back line as Carrier the first to go down. Guma's already out of the fight, as will go down Owner, and it's just a disaster. T1, they set it up, and HANWHA Life knock it down as they do not get the soul, but they get a massive team fight, and now they're going to get the top objectives.
That's a world champion right there. Zeka with the Silas. I thought that Nico Engage had done it. They get the dragon, deny the ocean, and then carry.
He's died twice.
No, Delight.
Yeah. That makes more sense. And now ZEUS doesn't really... I mean, Doran's going to keep going on this, but it's getting close. You can feel like ZEUS is getting close to the point where he's just going to begin to take over the side lane. New York's still going to be strong, but...
We're going to TP back to the wave. I mean, I don't think he should, because you want to really keep it available in case T1 find a collapse towards top side.
They just got his own, yes. Otacon
We
picked up
forgot
here.
about Otacon.
I didn't.
Well, I did. Kind of just assumed that that was already gone.
It's just they used this Baron to take Otacon, and now they still have a minute 30 left.
Help a little. Well, that also obviously is part of the problem. Yeah, and then Owner tried his best in the early game, 100% kill participation, but at this point you are Pantheon.
All right, they're going to try for something here, but Carrier doesn't find the angle, and Fate's Call comes through. It's kind of a broken engage from T1, and there's still 30 seconds of Baron. So they have this wave, they take down the turret anyway, and that's some tools taken away from the T1 side. ZEUS,
A decent amount of time is playing.
he was on vacation.
Yeah.
Just hanging out.
HANWHA Life does do that. But, you know, that's one of those things that you can say, and either it can be cope if they then lock in the next series, or they just lose and you're like, okay, yeah, no, there's an issue.
Everything we said on the POG stage is coming true.
Yep.
The HANWHA Life lock in, the Peanut's on his game. They should take it. Peanut is running into 4 people, and the ult here from Carrier only hits the Xin, who does not care. Peanut doesn't care, even if he dies. As now they get to the back line, and Kuma's ult does absolutely nothing, just dies immediately. Baker's got a good angle under the turret, but he doesn't have any teammates. As they're dying the turret. They're just tanking the turret. And everybody seems to have his on as everybody's going golden. And Baker just doesn't do any damage. He is dead. HANWHA Life stomp the fight, and maybe they take the game right here.
That's a red side win as well.
처치했습니다.
It's HANWHA Life. Yes, they fell behind. But those team fights, man, they are just something else. The early skirmishes, we saw the signs. And HANWHA will be able to end this game. Carrier's trying to clear the wave as best as he can, but nah, there's just no chance.
Not having enough pull. They turn and take the kill first, and then they will kill the enemy Nexus. HANWHA Life, very nicely played game. They got down 4,000 gold in the laning